your life. UNA University, manifesting all your dreams. With paradise, your land is home. Writing contracts on your own. Protect your loved ones every day. Knowledge goes a long, long way. UNA University for me. UNA University for me. Paradise, all your life. Diversity, all your dreams. Land is home, on your own. Every day, long, long way. UNA University for me. UNA University for me. UNA. Welcome to your paradise, the place you long for all your life. UNA University, manifesting all your dreams. With paradise, your land is home. Writing contracts on your own. Protect your loved ones every day. Knowledge goes a long, long way. like and share, because we're going in tonight. I got to get my voice ready. I got to get this voice ready because, yeah, I got to be on. My voice got to be in top condition. Because I think that things that we need to go over. I just want to make sure my people sending me information. All right, wait, because I got a lot of things that need to be dealt with tonight. Some of you all were with us last Friday, and you saw we had a conversation. So we did a couple of sessions. One was about this color, the skin color really matter. And you can catch this once again on YouTube at UNA Republic. And then there was this angry Moor who decided he wanted to threaten Diva Lyri and UNA Republic and all this. And we're gonna deal with that tonight. But before that, what I have to do is I need to go over some history, and I'm going to give you documentation that you can look up. You're not going to have to piece nothing together. You're not going to have to go and speculate about this more and this term right here and this letter right here. They sound the same. They look the same. It's going to be clear and simple. All right. I want to make sure you all know there is the university is opening up or starting back up this season on the 15th of July. If you're interested in getting those classes, I want you to send a message to UNA in the inbox. All right. Leave your name, your phone number, and your email, and we will contact you so that you can get enrolled. Also, we have the membership package. If you're interested in this membership package, all right, make sure that you go and leave your name, your information in the inbox. So this is our trust. We have a membership trust package. It comes with your trust documents. All right. This is one of the most powerful tools that you can have when we're dealing with your sovereignty. It also comes with a membership badge. It comes with an allodial ID. This deals with your spiritual name. There is a QR code where it allows you to access all of your documents. It comes with an education, which is really the most important part, knowing who you are and what these documents mean. Then it also, we're going to put them on record for you. So they're going to be on record. And then we also put them on UNA record, which again, you can always access with your allodial ID. All right. So if you want this, leave your name, number, and email in the inbox. Also, those of you all who are interested in the UNA Beginner Law Book, what is in this law book? The hierarchy of laws, the maxims of law, all right, which is very important. These are the laws that are coming straight from the Bible that are respected worldwide, maxims of law, universal law, hierarchy of law, all right. In this book, when you get this, the physical copy, so you can get the physical copy or the ebook, there's vibratory frequency chart. We're going to talk about this tonight and why this is important. There's the hierarchy of laws chart. There is the universal laws chart. And then there is this chart here, societal totem pole and the civilization circle, because we're also going to get into how everything is a cycle. We're in a cycle, ladies and gentlemen. We've been here before. We're repeating. And the question is, do you want to stay in the cycle or do you want to uplift yourself? All right, that's the question. So in the book, all of these are in the book. However, what we do is we gave you these copies because we need you to put them up on your refrigerator, on your mirrors, on your walls. So you don't have to tear the book up to do that. In this book, again, it has all of those things, but it also has the maxims of law in here, all 400 and something of them. It's got information on what a contract is, contract writing. So get this book. It's a great buy. All right. Let's get into this. I want to welcome everybody once again. I want you to like and share. All right. Let me. Oh, I can't even do it now. All right. I want you to like and share. All right. And let's get this up to, we're approaching what, 30,000 now? 20, what, how many we're approaching? I'm gonna tell you what we're approaching, and that's where we want to be for tonight. 1 second. I'm gonna tell you right now. I lost it. All right, we're approaching 30,000, and so we're gonna get that to 30,000 tonight. Let's go ahead and like and share, and I'm ready to share some information with you and tell you what's really going on. Okay. All right. So, to my Moors. The topic today is, to my Moors, we need to talk. And let's understand what's really going on. All right. So I want to say this to those of you all who call yourselves Moors. First of all, I need you to understand something about how we operate here and how I operate. I don't speak about things or people that I don't desire in my dimension. So this is why there's certain things you don't hear me talking about. You don't hear me talking about the regular things that people are talking about in society. I don't get into that because there's certain beings and people that I don't allow in my dimension. And so if I'm speaking about you, it is because I care. It's because I love you. And I mean that. But if you're choosing to continue to walk in ignorance, then that's your choice. But I'm going to help you to understand today why I say that this is not Morocco. We're going to clear up the facts about what happened. And we're going to hear things from the horses' mouths themselves so that we don't have to speculate on what really happened in history, because there are people lying to you. And as I said, it's not just the Albion or the so-called white man that's lying to you. There are melanated people who are lying to you. And this is why it's important to start to recognize people's spiritual vibration. When I talk about that vibratory frequency chart, where are they vibrating? Because they might look like you. They might have the same skin color as you, but if they're vibrating on a lower vibratory frequency, you cannot build with them. And I don't care how nice and friendly and let's just all hold hands and love each other. They will tear you down. And just because somebody is not your same skin color doesn't mean that you can't build with them. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to get into what these facts are. As I've spoken about before, who we are on a spiritual level. Thank you, Troy, for the love. I've spoken about who we are on a spiritual level. And, you know, we are spiritual entities that are continuing to fight in here. But some of us have elevated ourselves spiritually, regardless of your skin color, your background, how much money you make, what neighborhood you live in. Some of us have elevated spiritually. Others of us have not. And if you are on a lower vibratory frequency, you're going to erase yourself. So anybody who's talking about destroying somebody or fighting with somebody, you're going to destroy yourself. So I don't worry about you or what you think you're going to do to me or UNA or anybody associated with our organizations, our friends, members, associates. We don't worry about that because we know that you're going to destroy yourself, and we're going to get into that today and see it for a fact. Okay, now let's go here. First of all, there was this character who was we had the session with last week, and we asked him some questions, and in true Moor fashion, he couldn't answer them because he doesn't really know the facts. And we're going to go into the facts tonight. Okay. What happened between the United States and Morocco? Let's clear it up. We're going to clear it up. We're going to go straight to here. Let's go here. we're going to go to the Moroccan embassy. And we're going to read, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to read, and we're going to find out exactly what happened between Morocco and the United States of America. Now, this character that was on, he says that, thank you, Troy, for the love. He says that the United States asked Morocco for recognition. That's what he said. All right. Let's go to the Moroccan embassy and see what the Moroccan embassy had to say. And we're going to read this verbatim. And I think it's the moroccanembassy.com or .org. Just type in the Moroccan embassy and you're going to find this document. I'm going to flip the screen. Flipping the rig. All right. So this is coming once again from the Moroccan embassy. Now, you can see it right here, the Moroccan embassy. So when you type that in and you find the Moroccan embassy, you'll see this page. All right. The 1786 Moroccan-American Treaty of Friendship. It starts during the Revolution. So many American ships called at the port of Tangiers that the Continental Congress sought recognition from the Emperor of Morocco that was accorded in effect with 1777, making Morocco the first country to recognize the fledgling American Republic. Negotiation of a formal treaty began in 1783 and resulted in the signing in 1786 of a Moroccan-American Treaty of Friendship. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, both future U.S. presidents, were American signatories. This is the oldest unbroken treaty of friendship that the United States has with a foreign nation. See more on the early relations between the two nations below. Okay, that's the synopsis of what they said. This is on the Moroccan embassy website. The Moroccan embassy website. All right, let me scroll down. All right, so we can get the whole story. We're going to read tonight. We're going to read tonight because I know some of y'all don't like to read, but we're going to read and find out what happened. Okay, so Office of the Historian, United States Department of the State. Now, notice up here it's saying that during the American Revolution, so many American ships called at the port of Tangiers that the Continental Congress sought recognition from the Emperor of Morocco. All right. And they're saying that this was in accordance with effect in 1777 because that's when the United States of America Incorporated was created in 1777. That was a business. That was an organization. All right. And so they're saying Morocco was the first country to recognize the fledgling American Republic. Now, let's understand what really happened. And I'm going to read this so y'all pay attention. Morocco and the United States having a long history of friendship relationship. This North African nation was one of the first states to seek diplomatic relationships with. Hold on, did y'all see that? Was one of the first states to seek diplomatic relations with America. In 1777, Sultan Sidi Mohammed bin Abdullah, the most progressive of the Barbary leaders, this was a Barbary state, who ruled Morocco from 1757 to 1790, announced his desire for friendship. He announced his desire for friendship with the United States. Pay attention to what I'm saying to you. He desired friendship. Let's talk about why. The Sultan's overture was part of a new policy he was implementing as a result of his recognition of the need to establish peaceful relations with the Christian powers and his desire to establish trade as a basic source of revenue. Faced with serious economic and political difficulties, he was searching for a new method of governing which required changes in his economy. They were so tired of doing hell against people, he decided we need to change. We need to lighten our hearts, and we need to open up to these Christian people. All right, now, Britain was in there too. And remember, Morocco and Britain, they were in bed together. So if Britain was in the territory, Morocco was not going to march on the United States. They weren't. Morocco was going to stay back because they didn't want to hurt their relationship with Britain. But at this time, they sought recognition. They sought to recognize the United States. But let's understand what the United States was saying to Morocco at this time. All right, instead of relying on a standing professional army to collect taxes and enforce his authority, he wanted to establish state control, new, reliable regulars of income, to free him from dependency on the services of the standing army. The opening of his force to America and other states was part of that new policy. Let me go back up here, and it said he wanted to establish a state-controlled maritime trade as a new, more reliable, regular source of income. Are y'all reading that with me? Because the other guy was talking about how the Moors weren't under maritime. But this is coming from the Moroccan embassy, and it's clearly saying that the Sultan at this time, who was of Morocco, he wanted to establish a state-controlled maritime trade, more reliable and regular source of income. Okay, that's what I told you all these states were that Britain was creating. He was trying to get like Britain, because Britain by this time had created all of those colonies, and Britain was running on a state basis. So his idea was, well, shoot, they're making a whole bunch of money and they don't even have to rely on an army. We want to make money like that. We want to be dealing with maritime trade. So this is what he sought to do. Okay, let me continue. This is coming from the Moroccan embassy. The Sultan issued a declaration on December 20th, 1777, announcing that all vessels sailing under the American flag could freely enter Moroccan ports. The Sultan stated that orders had been given to his concierge to let ships of the Americas, it's des Americans, but of Americans, and those of other European states which Morocco had no treaties with, which Russia, Malta, Sardinia, Prussia, Naples, Hungary, Leghorn, Genoa, Germany. And he wanted them to be able to pass freely into Moroccan ports. There they could take refreshments and provisions and enjoy the same privileges as other nations that had treaties with Morocco. This action, under the diplomatic practice of Morocco at the end of the 18th century, put the United States on an equal footing with all other nations with the Sultan that had treaties. So let's understand this. Morocco went to the United States first. They didn't come to him, and we're going to continue on, and we're going to show you that the United States wasn't trying to do business with Morocco. By issuing this declaration, Morocco became the first state to acknowledge publicly the independence of American Revolution, the American Republic. He was the first, Morocco was the first to recognize the American Republic. Let's recognize this. They are not the same. He is recognizing that's your territory. This is our territory over here. Let's be friends. That's what this is about. On February 20th, and they didn't own America at any point. On February 20th, 1778, the Sultan of Morocco reissued his December 20th, 1777 declaration. American officials, however, pay attention, only belatedly learned of the Sultan's full intentions. Near identical to the first February 20th declaration, was again sent to all consuls and merchants in the ports of Tangier, Salih, and Mogador, informing them the Sultan had opened his ports to America and 9 other European states. Information about the Sultan's desire for friendly relations with the United States first reached Benjamin Franklin, one of the American commissioners in Paris, sometime in late April or early May 1778, from Etienne Duabert Callier, a French merchant sailed. All right, so I want y'all to pay attention to this time frame. He issued his memorandum on February 20th, December 20th, 1777, and then he reissued that same thing on February 20th, 1778. All right, and then May 1778, Benjamin Franklin received it. Now, appointed by the Sultan to serve as consul for all the nations unrepresented in Morocco, Callier wrote on behalf of the Sultan to Franklin from Cadiz on April 1778. So here we are, almost a year later, offering to negotiate a treaty between Morocco and the United States on the same terms the Sultan has negotiated with other powers. Pay attention to this word, negotiate. This means that money is, or some kind of tribute or treaty is going to be, or money or booty is needs to be in exchange for this treaty. So when we're talking about negotiation, we're talking about, well, how much money is going to pass, because remember, he's doing all of this because he wanted to make money without having to deal with an army. All right. So in April 14th, 1778, this is now Morocco saying, hey, we sending our guy Callier over here to negotiate with you. And so now, when he did not receive a reply, Callier wrote Franklin a second letter sometime later that year in early 1779. When Franklin wrote to the Committee on Foreign Affairs in May of 1779, so now we in the middle of the year of 1779. He started this back in 1777. He reported he had received 2 letters from a Frenchman who offered to act as our minister with the emperor, and informed the American commissioner that His Imperial Majesty wondered why we had never sent thanks to him for being the first power on the side of the Atlantic that had acknowledged our independence and opened his ports to us. Franklin, who did not mention the date, this is Benjamin Franklin, who did not mention the dates of Collier's letters or when he had received them, added that he had ignored these letters because the French advised him that Callier was reputed to be untrustworthy. Let me put this in my own words from what I'm reading and what you have just seen. Benjamin Franklin ignored the letters coming from the Sultan, or this guy Callier, who was writing on behalf of the Sultan. And the Sultan was like, well, why these people not coming back to us and at least saying thank you for the fact that we have recognized them on this side. Once again, if you have not subscribed, if you have not liked, I need you to do that. My people on YouTube and TikTok, I need you to like, share, and subscribe, because we're going deep tonight. You get ready to see the proof There's going to be no question about what happened. This is from the Moroccan embassy. Go to the website. Franklin stated that the French king was unwilling to use his good offices with the Sultan whenever, let me reread that. Franklin stated that the French king was willing to use his good offices with the Sultan whenever Congress desired a treaty, and concluded, whenever a treaty with the emperor is intended, I suppose some of our naval stores will be acceptable present, and the expectations of continued supplies of such stores a powerful motive for entering into a continuing friendship. So whenever a treaty with the emperor is intended, I suppose some of our naval stores will be an acceptable present, and the expectation of continued supplies of such stores a powerful motive for entering into a continuing friendship. So this is Benjamin Franklin, who is saying that he's thinking that this French guy, or that the Sultan, just wants to have access to the army and the power and the resources of the United States. So in order to continue the friendship, that's what Benjamin Franklin is saying. He's saying he doesn't trust this guy, and he doesn't have any desire to do business with the Sultan. And once again, this is in 1778. Okay. Hold on, let me go back. Is that 1778? 1779. That's when he was saying this. All right. So the main bilateral agreement. The Kingdom of Morocco and the United States have a rich level of framework over the years. All right, so these are just some references that you can go and read. All right, so we're understanding that, and we'll see it in here. We're understanding that this Callier guy, this French guy, was writing on behalf of the Sultan, and Franklin was not trusting him. Now, let me show you what happened. Let me see if we can find it in here. Franklin stated that the French king was willing to use his good offices with the Sultan whenever Congress desired a treaty, and concluded, whenever a treaty with the emperor is intended, I suppose some of our naval stores will be an acceptable present. And the expectation, he knows that they're going to have expectations for them to keep providing these things in order to continue supplies of such stores, a powerful motive for entering into a continuing friendship. Basically, Benjamin Franklin was snubbing Morocco's attempt at a peace treaty. All right. And I need in here, in one of these documents, is stating how Benjamin Franklin was geared to go into relations with the French. Once again, going back up here, His Imperial Majesty wondered why we had never sent thank you to him for being the first power on the side of Atlantic that had acknowledged our independence and opened his ports to us. Franklin, who did not mention the date of Callier's letter when he had received it, added that he ignored these letters because the French advised him that Callier was reputed to be untrustworthy. And Franklin was working with the French. And he's stating here, the French king was willing to use his good offices so that's what happened between the United States and Morocco, and why this peace and friendship treaty came about. Once again, this is going to be a long session. Get your popcorn. Y'all should be taking notes because I don't want you Moors. I'm going to help you to understand. You people who are calling yourselves Moors, I'm going to help you to understand exactly what's going on and what the truth is and why you don't want to be calling yourself that. Okay, but we're understanding because that character that was on my session last week was talking about how, we are not in maritime. We're not under maritime. When that's what these treaties all are in accordance with the Moroccan Empire that says that those treaties they came about because he wanted to do maritime trade. Okay. All right. This is, once again, this is from the National Archives, Pirates and Early Test for the New Country. Pirates, as in land-stealing thieves, as in Moors, as in people of the sea. Okay. July 2015 is when this article was written. Richard O'Brien, captain of Philadelphia ships Dolphin, penned his July 12th, 1790 letter to Thomas Jefferson. He had been a captive of the Barbary pirates in Algeria for almost 5 years. This letter and others helped to bring attention to an unexpected problem the federal government inherited from the government under the Articles of Confederation, pirates. The new nation was faced with the question, what could be done about the Barbary pirates? This is Tunis, Algiers, Morocco, Tripoli, Montezuma. And what could be done for the American prisoners held for ransom in Algeria? In the late 18th century, the Barbary pirates were a well-known problem in Europe. These pirates who came from Morocco, Algiers, Tripoli, Tunisia, captured vessels sailing in the Mediterranean Sea and held their crew for ransom. To free a captured vessel, European nations were forced to pay ransom. Some European nations signed treaties with the 4 Barbary nations and paid tribute for safe passage of their vessels. Some European nations did that, but the United States, they was being run by Moors. And they weren't just Moors from Morocco or Tunis. Some of those Moors were from Britain, but they were people who knew how to write contracts and knew how to run governments. All right. The Barbary pirates were not an issue for the American colonies while they were under the protection of the British Empire. Pay attention. As I said to you, Morocco was not going to mess around with America or nothing concerning North America because the British were in there. And as long as the British was in there, they were going to stay back. So during the British Empire or during the Revolutionary War, while they were under the protection of France, who did I tell you Benjamin Franklin was doing business with when we was on the embassy, on the Moroccan embassy page? He was doing business with France. Pay attention. He wasn't trying to do no business with Morocco. And that was in 1779. Well, now here we go. However, those protections effectively ended in 1783, September 1783, when the Treaty of Paris was signed, ending the Revolutionary War and freeing the United States from British rule. You want to know when they got their independence? When they entered a treaty with France, not Morocco. Morocco just recognized the United States of America. But that treaty that supposedly freed them from British rule was signed with France, or the Treaty of Paris. Look it up if you can find it, because they have erased all of the truth that you can find on the web. But we understanding now. The so-called Treaty of Paris is what gave the United States its freedom from Britain. And it was Morocco that went to United States of America and asked, for them to be recognized. They didn't ask Morocco to recognize them. Morocco's like, hey, you know what? We need to change our ways. We're going to recognize you. And so since we're so great and mighty, then you ought to be thankful. And the United States was like, we're not trying to do business with you. We want to do business with the French. Okay, I'm not making this up. You seeing it for yourself. On October 1784, the Boston brig Betsy was captured by Moroccan pirates. Once again, they captured one of the ships. When I was talking to this character the other night, I said, Morocco seized the ships of the United States. That's not true. That's not true. Here it is. 1784, the Boston brig Betsy was captured by Moroccan pirates. On July 25th, 1785, Algerian pirates captured the Boston schooner Maria. Less than a week later, the Algerians also captured Captain O'Brien's ship, the Dauphin. Americans had a rude awakening to their hopes of free trade throughout the world. Morocco released the crew of the Betsy and concluded a peace treaty with the United States that the Confederation Congress ratified in 1787. The United States had to pay for a treaty, and guess what? They still paying that treaty to the day. I need y'all to understand what happened. The United States was forced into a treaty with Morocco. They weren't trying to do business with Morocco. Morocco forced them by kidnapping their people. And so the people of the United States were so upset. They was like, wait a minute. Well, y'all gonna get them free. We'll pay for it. Please let our people go. Yeah. They forced them into a contract, into a treaty. They wanted payment. And the United States was refusing to go into contract with Morocco. So when that happened, Morocco was like, well, we're just going to steal your ships. We're going to seize your ships. We're going to sell them to other people. We're going to put your people in slavery. And whatever is on your ship, we're going to keep it or do whatever we want to do with it. And it wasn't until the United States decided to pay to quote unquote treaty, they let people go. Are we understanding what's going on? The United States was forced into a treaty, into a contract. Now let's understand what a treaty is. This treaty here, it is like a mortgage. I'm gonna tell you what that was like. It's like you being on the street and you trying to drive, you driving down the streets and the cops, they pull you over. They tell you, you know what, you're not gonna be able to pass through here unless you pay us. All right. And that's what Morocco did, forced them into a treaty. You know, that's like that whole registering your car deal where the state tries to force you into contract with them. If you don't register your car, they're going to send their goons after you and steal your car, impound it. It's the same thing. They're doing the same thing. And how do you get out of that? Well, you go under trust. This guy says Moors are sheriffs. No, they're not. I need to find out if somebody wants to be a monitor, because I had a lot of complaints from the people of last week and how we had ignorance in the room. If you don't know how to behave, get out of here, because we're gonna get rid of you. Now, let's be clear. That's not a sheriff. There's nothing righteous about that. Moors are the first one to be talking about Islam and God, and we love God and peace. But then you're doing stuff like this. It's not peaceful to try to force yourself on someone. That's not godly. That's not equity. That's not righteous. And it's the same thing that the state does today. And by the way, the states are owned by Britain, where they're trying to force you to register your car. What happens when you register your car? You've turned over ownership to it, to the state. And that's what Morocco was doing. It's saying, register your state with us, or we're going to impound your ships. We're going to steal everything that you try to drive through these ways, as though they have ownership of the seas. You don't. Okay. So what happens is they go into contract with Morocco, and just like when you register, they want you to pay them some tributes or booty. They want you to pay them some money. And that's what's going on with Morocco, whereby they have forced the United States into a treaty with them. Y'all thinking this is some kind of, this is a treaty of love and peace and friendship. It was a treaty of coercion, a treaty of force, a treaty of subjugation. And so now that the United States has signed this treaty, now they have entered into a contract whereby Morocco, they've subjugated themselves to Morocco. So now with this contract, they can seize the property of the United States of America Incorporated. Pay attention. Thank you, God. Goddess. Thank you. So now y'all got to understand, the United States of America Incorporated, that is a business. That's not the United States, lowercase u, United capital States of America. That's not the same. That the people is the lowercase United States of America, but that incorporated United States of America, that's who signed that peace and friendship treaty with Morocco. Remember, I told you that when there's a treaty concerning land or territory, the only people who have the right to do business or contracting concerning that land are the original people of the land. And I'm letting you know that the Moors who were running the United States of America at that time, they were not of the land, and they made it clear. Okay, I need to pull up the peace and friendship treaty. I got time today. We're going into it. We're reading today. I'm pulling up the peace and friendship treaty, because what I need to go into is understanding what really happened with that treaty. There's another document that I do want to go over as well. One second before I go into this. All right. And if y'all have any questions, put them in the comment section. I'm going to get to them before I get out of here. All right. Before I get into this, let me make sure I make this clear. When we're talking about the United States of America and the fact that Morocco forced a treaty on the United States of America, what I want you to recognize and understand is that now Morocco, or at that time, and probably now, feels that they can put a lien on the property or the territory of the United States, because the United States, they declared independence, but then they went back up under contract with Morocco with this treaty. Now, the United States of America Incorporated is different from the lowercase United States. That's the people. And we got to understand that. Now, with this treaty, this thing became, like I said, it's like a mortgage. And it's like a registration with your car, where these people think now they have the rights to march on it. Now, I want to go over this term more and help you to understand that you don't, as the character that was on my session last week, this so-called Moor, what he established is you're not going to find this term Moor in any of the American documents or concerning America, because anytime you're talking about Moor, it's always dealing with some Morocco. I can't say that I've seen that in an Algiers treaty, but I see it all throughout this peace and friendship treaty with Morocco. And it's talking about Moor. And anytime it's talking about Moor, you know what it's talking about? Some ships on a port. Ships on a port. It's not talking about anything. It's not talking about land. It's not talking about, oh, this land territory over here and this land. No, it's always talking about ships on a port concerning this contract. I'm going to go through some things here. I'm not going to read this whole peace and friendship treaty, but let me flip this screen. I want y'all to like and share. We're going in tonight. I'm reading this information because we need to start reading. We need to start reading, and especially before they start burning this information. Okay, let's get into it. This is the Peace and Friendship Treaty. Let me see if I can find the first page. One, two, three, four. All right, ban in the year 1200, trusting in God will remain. All right. We declare that both parties agree this treaty consisting of 25 articles shall be inserted in this book and delivered to the Honorable Thomas Barclay, the agent of the United States, now at the court, with whose approbation it has been made, who is duly authorized on their part to treat us. So there being the United States of America, treat us concerning all the matters contained therein. All right. This contract, and let me make this clear, it does not deal with land. And I want y'all to go through here and read it, because I'm not going to read all of this, but it does not deal with land. It just deals with the people of the place called Morocco and the people of the place called the United States of America, Inc., Incorporated. And I'm sorry, let me make this clear, what an incorporated thing is. Something is incorporated, it's up under somebody else's rule. Who they incorporated with, I'm not sure. But what I do know is they signed an agreement with Paris and then was forced into an agreement with Morocco. All right. A signing or a pass shall be given to all vessels, we talk about ships, belong on the water, belonging to both parties, by which they are to be known when they meet at sea. If the commander of a ship of war is either party, shall have other ships under his convoy, the declaration of the commander shall alone be sufficient to exempt any of them from examination. So when your ships come to Moroccan ports or Moroccan ships go to your port, you don't examine them in accordance with this treaty. Once again, Article 5, if either part of the parties shall be at war and shall meet a vessel at sea, once again, dealing with the water, maritime, belonging to the other, it is agreed that if an examination is to be made, it shall be done by sending a boat with 2 or 3 men only. And if any gun shall be bred, an injury done without reason, the offending party shall make good all damages. So you pay for your damages if you hurt us or if we hurt you. Article 6, if any Moor, once again, this is the only time you're saying Moor, shall bring citizens of the United States or their effects to his majesty, the Sultan, the citizens shall immediately be set at liberty and the effects restored, and in the like manner, if a Moor, Not a subject of the dominions shall make prize of any of the citizens of America or their effects, and bring them into any of the ports of his majesty. They shall be immediately released, as they will be considered as under his majesty's protection. Not jurisdiction, not authority, not his property, but protection. So again, all of this is talking about the people and the ships and their property, not about the land. And all of this is dealing with the sea. And we talked about this from, the embassy, the Moroccan embassy had told you he wanted to end a maritime trade. Maritime. I'm going on to Article 8. Again, what we're showing here is that all of this is dealing with ports. If any vessel of the United States shall meet with a disaster at sea and put into one of our ports to repair, she shall be at liberty. Notice the boats are she's, and reload her cargo without paying any duty whatsoever. Now, you don't have to pay duty because you already paid treaty or tribute and booty. If any vessel of the United States shall be cast on shore on any part of our coast. Once again, all this talking about maritime. Water. Anything dealing with Moor is dealing with waters. Article 11, if we shall be at war with any Christian power and any of our vessels sails from the ports of the United States, no vessel belonging to the enemy shall follow in 20 hours after the departure of our vessel, and the same regulation shall be observed towards American vessels sailing from our ports, be the enemy Moors or Christian. If any ship of war belonging to the United States shall put into any of our ports, again, all this dealing with water. If a ship of war of either party shall put into a port, anything when we're talking about Moors, is dealing with water, ships, sailing. I told y'all to look up moored, M-O-O-R-E-D and M-O-O-R-I-N-G, to understand where the term is coming from. But all these people, they keep wanting to tell you, oh, Mauritania. And we're going to get on Mauritania today. We're getting on that today so you can understand what really happened in history. We're giving you the facts. We're not gonna give you a whole bunch of pictures and tell you to tie it together. No, just here in plain English for you. If any citizen of the United States should kill or wound a Moor, two different groups of people, they talking about two different territories. If Morocco had owned the United States, why are we making a treaty like this? There don't need to be a treaty. They own it. Just put the law into effect. Morocco didn't own the United States and never did. What they did was they forced them into a treaty. They trying to act like they are, as this guy says, a sheriff of the waters when they were never. They forced the United States of America into a treaty with them by kidnapping, pillaging, robbing. Okay. I think we're clear on that. I think we're clear on that. I'm going into the facts. Going into the facts. Okay. So we're clear on the term Moor. We're clear on the fact that the United States of America was forced into a treaty. And I need to go into why you don't want to be calling yourself a Moor. You just saw it in this contract. Moor deals with Morocco. I mean, listen, how can this guy, this so-called Moor come in here and he keeps talking about, well, you know, Moor deals with Morocco and, you know, the Sultan of Morocco and the Peace of Friendship Treaty and all this. Let's understand what Morocco is. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. because this is very important that we are clear. So those of us who know law, we know that when something is declared on public record, that becomes a law when it's not refuted. When something gets declared on public record, it becomes a law when it's not refuted. Now, what is public record? Public record could be the county. It could be the state republic in what we know of as North America. Public record is a website, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. All of those are public records. And so when you make something public record, a business card, flyers, newspaper, those are public record. Library, public record. Okay. So what has been put on record concerning the term Morocco? I need y'all to understand that a word or a name is a contract. We've already understood that every letter is a word. Every word or every syllable is a compound word. And then you compound the syllables, you got a contract. The term Morocco is a contract. Then somebody has trademarked and copyrighted that logo, that flag y'all keep flying, that red flag with the little star in it, the green star, that's somebody's copyrighted and trademarked logo. And that copyrighted and trademarked logo has a set of laws established with it. And when you start flying those logos, then you're flying somebody else's flag. That means you put yourself under their jurisdiction. Pay attention. It's the same thing. Why do you think the cops feel like they can pull your car over when you flying a flag or a tag, or that tag, which is a flag, on the back of your car? It says state of Tennessee, state of Washington, state of. Anything state of is copyrighted and trademarked by Britain. Anything that says state of anything, county of anything, city of anything, police department of anything, it's copyrighted and trademarked by Britain. So when you got this tag or this flag on the back of your car that says state of anything, what you have said to the police, the popo, is that this vehicle is owned and under the jurisdiction of the state. I don't own it. The state owns it. So now when they pull you over and they want to search it and they want to go through it and they want to take you out the car and do all of this other stuff, you flying their flag. You said it's their property. You said it. Goddess says the Moors are the ones that showed the Spaniards the trade routes. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into what the Moors did. We're going to break it down tonight. I got time, because I don't want you Moors, you people calling yourself Moors, I don't want you to be upset with me. I got to give you the facts. Now, listen, all of this stuff, the problem is we've gotten into this religious mindset. And when you're in a religious mindset, you cannot see, you cannot think. I'm not telling you, I'm not trying to force you into anything. I'm just giving you the information. If you don't like it, then go somewhere else. But the last thing you want to try to do is to threaten me or think you're going to come against me. Anything you try to do to me, you will set your own demise. I'm going to show you that tonight too. So stay tuned. You can't destroy me. In your attempts to destroy me, you will destroy yourself. I don't have to lift a finger, not one. So pay attention. Pay attention. And if you can't get it from this, what I'm presenting to you tonight, then you're going to get what you get. And it's not going to be good. Trust me. You're already seeing it right now. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. Stay tuned. It's popcorn. All right. So once again, when you're flying this flag on the back of your car, you have said that you're under its jurisdiction. These are copyrighted and trademarked logos. copyright infringement, that comes with a $50,000 fine. $50,000. Either you're going to say you're under their jurisdiction and you're going to pay them some treaty or tribute or some booty, or they're going to confiscate you. Okay, so now we understand in the game. You fly somebody's flag, and you're calling somebody else's name, then what you've done is you've taken on the jurisdiction because you're using somebody's copyrighted and trademarked information. Okay, I'm going to flip this rig, and I want y'all to pay attention to what's going on. This is a public reference of what the term Morocco means. Now, I'm getting this from Wikipedia. I'm not the biggest fan of Wikipedia, but for today, we're going to use this information, and I want y'all to go and find out what you got. But it doesn't even matter because this is on public record. Nobody has refuted it. So let's read what this term Morocco, what does that mean? All right. You did it. All right. What does the term Morocco mean? It says Morocco, officially the King of Morocco, is a country in the Maghreb region of North Africa. North Africa. It overlooks the Mediterranean Sea to the north and the Atlantic Ocean to the west, and has land borders of Algeria to the east and the disputed territory of West Sahara to the south. Morocco also claims the Spanish exclaves of Ceuta or Ceuta, Ceuta, Melilla, and Peña de Vélez de Gomera, and several small Spanish-controlled islands. One moment. All right. And several small Spanish-controlled islands off its coast. It has a population of roughly 37 million. The official predominant religion is Islam, and the official languages are Arabic and Berber. French and Moroccan dialect of Arabic are also widely spoken. Moroccan identity and culture is a mix of Arab, Berber, African, and European cultures. Its capital is Rabat, while its largest city is Casablanca. Now, are you all familiar with when you get a mortgage, and in that mortgage, on that document, it has what's called a legal description of the land that is being claimed in that mortgage or that document? This right here, this paragraph I read, is a legal description of what Morocco or Kingdom of Morocco is. That's a legal description. It didn't say nothing about North America or this land over here or that continent. No, it just told you all of the territory that it's claiming. It just told you that. And so understand, this is a public record of what Kingdom of Morocco and Morocco claims to be. So when you are declaring that title, Morocco or Kingdom of Morocco or Moroccan Empire, this is what you're claiming right here. Let me go back to this because I want you to see something else. All right, watch this now. When you see these logos here, this is their flag. This is their coat of arms. This is copyrighted and trademarked material right here. If you're flying this, you are claiming to be under the rulership of these people. And so what you got to understand is that every time you open your mouth you're making a contract. And if you are so bold as to be flying any of these logos and symbols, you are declared to be under the rulership of these people. Kingdom of Morocco. If you're just going off a peace and friendship treaty, I need you to understand what's going on. Okay. Now we've understood that. So I need to go deep into this. Before I flip out of here, let me do this. I need y'all to see something. Let me show you this. I want y'all to understand who went into that treaty with Morocco. One second. Can y'all see this? All right. There is a difference between the United States of America, Inc., which was incorporated in 1777, and the United States with the lowercase u. This is important to understand because these are the people, this is the organization that was under that peace and friendship treaty. Not this, this is the people right here. The United States with that lowercase u, this is the people. We didn't go into a contract with him because the people were the original people of the land. Meaning the Ottawa and the Chippewa and the Cherokee, those were the original people of the land. The people who signed this peace and friendship treaty, the people who signed that peace and friendship treaty, they were dealing with this organization right here. So anything that Morocco entitled to, you only be dealing with this territory. I need to go through this, and then I'm going to answer questions. And my brother, who I'm going to also bring on and speak, he is a Moor, and let's hear what he has to say, because I want him to put his information or his take on what I'm saying this evening. So now we're understanding something. This is a company right here, United States of America, Inc. And if you're claiming to be a citizen of this organization, then these are the people who Morocco is going to confiscate. So now let me go into this. Let's get to it now. We made some things clear. You understand that there was a corporation that was forced into a treaty with Morocco, and it was called the United States of America Incorporated, which came about in 1777. But that wasn't the original people of the land. And I need to make this clear about why you don't want to be calling yourself a Moor, or saying this is Morocco, or saying you under Morocco, or flying that flag. Because some people have defaulted on a loan. Some people have defaulted on the treaty to Morocco. And so when Morocco was seizing those ships or seizing things, what they're doing is saying, hey, you didn't pay this bill, so we coming to get our property. All right. It's just like a mortgage. When you don't pay that mortgage, they come and seize their property. Well, what property do they have access or rights to? Well, the United States of America Incorporated, and everything that is incorporated under the United States of America Incorporated. So this is why you don't want to call yourself a citizen, because what is a citizen? A slave of the corporate, the dead fictitious entity, your property. So if Morocco decides to march on this territory, they coming to pick up their property. So whether it be land, which they can't get the land, but they can get the people. They can get the people who call themselves citizens of the United States of America. They can also get the people who call themselves Moors of Morocco or the Moroccan Empire. Because you flying that flag. You said you was Moroccan. You said you were Moor. Moor is a title that's incorporated by Morocco. You're saying you're their property. Pay attention. Pay attention. If these people want to march on something, they're just coming to get their territory. Well, if you claim it to be property of the United States of America incorporated, then they coming after you. That's if they have rights, which they really don't have any rights because they forced the United States of America into they forced them into a contract. You can't do that. That's not equity. That's not even maritime law. That's not law of the land. That's not law of God. So you getting this. If you're not getting this again, you just in a religious thing. I'm not trying to get you out of your religion. Do what you do. But I told you, and I'm going to say this again. I'm going to keep saying it. If you go up under somebody else and you're ignorant, you're going to be devoured. You're going to be taken advantage of. You can't be ignorant. And so now what you're understanding, oh, y'all people in here, you come from Christian and then you run up under the Moors. And then they tell you, oh, just put your stuff under our umbrella. Not understanding that most of these Moorish science temples, and again, I ain't trying to diss them, but they are incorporated up under the United States of America Incorporated. So you go put your stuff from United States, which is owned by Britain, up under the Morocco or whoever these Moorish science temples are, and then they just put you right back up under the same thing. You can't run if you're ignorant. You can't. So you run from Christianity to Islam, and you're still ignorant. You listen, y'all people always trying to get somebody to lead you. And I'm telling you, I'm not here to lead you nowhere but to spirit. Spirit is waiting on you to listen. Spirit. Source, God, Most High, whatever you want to call it, is waiting on you to listen. But you're too busy trying to follow this religion over here and follow this religion over here. Open your mind, open your eyes, and follow spirit. Not me, not somebody else, not that dude who was on my session talking about Moors and speaking all this other language, but it's on the lowest vibratory frequency of any character I have ever met. And I'm going to go into that tonight too. You can't be ignorant. And again, I told you guys, somebody's in here trying to help you. Stop trying to follow everybody and be willing to study for yourself. I just showed you. I just showed you. And if you have any kind of intelligence, if you have any desire to wake up, how can you not see and understand what I'm telling you? Somebody was forced into a contract and the same, I'm going to move on. The same thing. Thank you for the love. Somebody forced the United States of America into a contract. And we're going to start to see, because I want to go into what happens when you're infringing on someone's territory or property. That term Morocco is somebody else's property. It is a contract. That flag that you all are flying, that's somebody else's property. It is a contract. It has a contract associated with it. And when you're flying it, you're claiming to be under its jurisdiction. If you're calling yourself a citizen, you're claiming to be under the jurisdiction of a dead fictitious entity. And so when somebody comes to collect the property of that dead fictitious entity, if you have claimed to be the property of that dead entity, then you will be devoured. All right. Now, I also want to go into why Morocco thinks they have claim. And as I told you, these treaties nothing more than a mortgage on the United States of America Incorporated. And so when America or the United States of America signed that treaty, now Morocco at that time felt that they had the right to put a lien on any of the property associated with the United States of America Incorporated. And again, if you're claiming to be a citizen, then that would be you. This is why we have the trust. This is why we talk so much about trust. This is why we deal with understanding who you are. You got to understand also where your protection is. Where is your protection? See, you're so busy trying to follow somebody's religion. That guy was on this session the whole time. And he's talking about the USC code. And he's talking about the federal code. And then he starts talking about the Constitution. And he's talking about the Peace and Friendship Treaty. He did not one time mention God. Oh, Islam. What happened to your God, though? What happened to your God? Why are you not standing on the protection of your God? That's where your protection is. Do you know how to enforce that? If you don't, then you really, look, I told you, it's not about religion. Because y'all thinking when I say God, I'm talking about a religion. I'm not. I'm talking about the highest laws in this dimension. And I don't care. I said God's plural. And the Bible told you about God's plural. Some of y'all just didn't catch it when it said the term Elohim. That's many gods. And I've seen gods on a microscopic level and the gods on a macroscopic level. And I don't care which level it is in between. Every last one of them have to deal with the universal laws. They have to. And I've seen them get all of their energy that they put out on all those levels. I've seen them get it back. All those gods. You a God. So when you put out an energy, it must come back. That's the law. In every being, God or not, because all these beings, I've seen so many different gods. And I've seen them have to deal with the energies that they've put out. When we talk about the Anunnaki on this macroscopic level, or we talking about the mitochondria on a microscopic level. Those are gods. Y'all don't get it. All of them have to deal with the energies that they put out. You don't just put out an energy and it not come back to you. We're going to get into it. This is why you have to know who you are. All right. I'm going to answer some questions in a second because I'm going to take a break and answer some questions, because after this, I want to get into the history of the Arabs and who they were. We're going to show how, as I talk about all the time, how history just continues to repeat itself and how we are all just different spiritual entities in here, and we're continuing to battle. If you finding yourself in this dimension, even watching me right now, note that you are here because there's a lesson you have to learn as a spiritual entity. That's why you're here. You got to learn this. This is not just, I got to come in here and fight. And when you learn who you are spiritually, you know how to do any of that. Oh, my people are representing on YouTube. I hope y'all have liked and shared. Like and share and follow, please, on TikTok. Genesis, welcome. Let's see. Action and results, greetings. All right. Did you have the StreamYard link going out? No. Action and results. I have a gentleman who's waiting, and I'm gonna get to my Moor friend. I let him know I'm going in tonight because I need to clear this up with the Moors, and I have something to say. Let me say this before I forget. This is what I want to say to the Moors. that this brother has helped me with. When I speak, one of the things that the Spirit has made it clear to me is that everything that I say is supposed to be in love or of love. And I have to apologize to my Moors because I know I come hard. It's not my desire to offend you. I respect your religion, whatever you want it to be. However, don't allow your religious belief to blind you and keep you enslaved. That's what religion has done. When I speak about God, I'm talking about an energy. I'm talking about source. I'm talking about finding the answers within and not trying to follow people because you will continuously be misled. But I apologize to my Moors who have been offended by the way that I have said what I said. And I look to gain more love and peace in the things that I say. But because I've dealt with, and this is not an excuse, I have a responsibility when I'm delivering this. I get this information that's delivered to me. I'm supposed to deliver it to you. That's why I'm here. But sometimes my ego gets up in there and I don't say the things that I'm supposed to say with love. All this information is very difficult because everybody gets, they get some shots fired at them. I don't care if you're female, male, melanated, albion, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. Even we're talking about Muslim or Jew, everybody gets fired, shots fired at them. And it's very difficult to deliver that without being offensive. And most of the time, if I deliver it with love, then people get the message. And to my Moors, if I have not been delivering this in the energy, or if I have delivered this in an energy that has been offensive to you, I apologize. But please note, I'm only giving you the facts. And I hope that you're willing to wake up and see this information that I'm sharing. Okay. Let me get some of my people. Let me see. Genesis says, Morocco Moor, why don't you go live on your own channel and speak your truth? Why argue with her platform? Okay. So, I got Morocco Moor. They pulling people over with a flag or not? That's not a good scenario. Okay. So he says they're pulling people over with a flag or not. Okay. I'm gonna show you something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna show you something. And no, and I'm gonna say this, y'all don't be too hard on Morocco Moor. I appreciate Morocco Moor because Morocco Moor is going to speak for those people who have the same thing to say and allow me to respond to it. Okay, so now, what does that say? Can you see that? Whose trademark property is this? What does this say? I know it's backwards. United States, United Nations from America. This is my flag. When they pull this number over, they know it's not their territory. It's not their property. This is what I'm trying to say when you're talking to, he's on my page and get a Moroccan Moor. He's flying when he's taking on that term Moroccan Moor. Remember, that's somebody else's name that he's claiming to be. Religion have nothing to do with in the discussion, but it does have everything to do with it because the only thing that guy kept talking about is Islam, 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 and then the peace of friendship treaty, but he never stood under his God. He never did. He never said anything. Then he said, well, my God is not man or female. Well, why are you not standing under this God? That's where your true salvation is. That's where your power is. But they don't get it. All right. Because he wants to think they're pulling over everybody. They're not pulling over Diva Lyri. They're not pulling over people who know what the law is. Religion have nothing to do with it. The jurisdiction as a USA citizen, you use their services and products, are you being charged for infringement? Listen, if you in this territory and you got a vehicle, do you go and get gas? Do you understand that gas is really, it's a charge? Your car will never belong to you. The car will watch this now. Maybe y'all didn't recognize this, but there used to be a time when all cars, all the vehicles were electric. And then somebody invented this gas guzzling vehicle, and you got to understand, they will pay companies to keep them from creating electric vehicles. They pay them. It was worth it for the gas companies to pay the car companies to keep from building electric vehicles. Why? Because as long as you own that car, you're gonna forever have to get gas. You ain't never owned that car. You don't own the car. I don't care if you pay it off. Even if you pay it off, you still got to pay for gas. That's a tax. Y'all not getting that? Okay. So do you have a car, sir? Because nobody want to go out on a date with a dude riding the bus. Do you have a car? If you buying gas, then you too paying tax. What are you talking about, Moor? What are you talking about? They are trying to renew the contract. So what's the plan? What should we be doing now? I'm going to tell you the truth. Thank you for that. I'm going to get to that. Y'all stay tuned. Hello, Venus Rocket. Thank you for joining. Friendly Ghost says, can I get a take on what some people may see with Rod Hayes as far as the themes of the subjects that into the Moors of America? I'm not sure what Rod Hayes says, Friendly, but if you got questions specific to what we're talking about, I'd be glad to see if I can answer it if I can. What's the beef and difference among the sense of sovereignty tied to claiming indigenous as opposed to a Moor? Can there be a connection that it all without the pride ties to? All right, differences of factions of melanated groups. Thank you for that question. That's an intelligent question. I love intelligent people, and I thank you for that question. So let's understand one of the things that we talked about in the session last week. All right. I've told you guys time and time again that when you speak, every time you open your mouth, you are writing or creating a contract. You are making a declaration. I want y'all to like, share, and follow on TikTok. Like, share, and follow, please. So what has happened is, and we're going to go into this, but melanated people, the vast majority of us are actually from this land known as North America. And we have been tricked into believing that we are from Africa. We have been tricked into taking different titles, which include Black, colored, Negro. And when you speak those words, first of all, somebody's writing them down on paper, but you keep coming out of your mouth calling yourself Black and Negro and colored and descendant of the slaves, and you're not recognizing that you're speaking a contract. Again, a word or a title is a contract. The same African-American is a title or a contract, the same way Morocco is a title or a contract. It's the same thing. So when you're speaking these words, you're taking on titles, and we don't have a clue what those titles mean because we don't go look them up. And so when I talked about how the only people who have the right to do anything with the land are the original people, well, original people, y'all keep opening your mouth and making claims, and then you're giving title to this land back over to somebody who you don't want to be under. And I told you all, just like I said last week, if you think you in bad shape up under the United States Corporation, which is Britain, wait till you get up under the other jurisdiction that's coming. Wait till you get up under these Moors. They're going to be worse. And you're going to see, because I'm telling you, I'm going to show you what has happened. Wait till you get up under these Moors. It's going to be worse. So you come from over here from the Christians, and you go to the Muslim religion and you still ignorant, you don't know what you're looking at, it's going to be worse. All right? So when you say ignorantly, because somebody told you to say this is Morocco, and you're claiming title to it, I just told you what Morocco was. I just told you what the Moroccan Empire was. I just showed you that. I just showed you how those trademark and copyright images belong to them. Well, when you claim them, you've made a contract and you said you're under their jurisdiction. You're flying their trademarked and copyrighted information. Now, if you're trying to claim title to a land, then you need to honor the mothers and fathers of that land. You don't get to just, this is my land because this is my land. You don't, no, you're not the people of the land. Just like Albions who are claiming to be Irish or Sicilian or German or whatever, they don't get to claim land here because they're not of this land. Now, they can try to buy a house or something, but they really never own that property. The only people who can really say that they have ownership or claim title to the land are the people of the land. Well, who are the people of this land? Well, melanated people who look like me and you. We are the people of the land. And so what happens is, because you don't know who you are, you keep opening your mouth and spouting off contracts, and then people hold you to that contract. When you're calling yourself black, people holding you to that. Oh, what they said they did. What they own their property? No, you can't claim it because you keep claiming to be something else. So when you're talking about Moor, again, that guy said it last week. The Moors are of Morocco. We just read what Morocco is. You haven't claimed to be of this land. You haven't honored the mothers of this land. See, they telling you about forefathers. No, that's how men take over stuff. So I ain't even going into that today because I already got you mad at me. I don't want to make you even more mad. But I'm going to show you that this was the land of the women. It still is to this day, the melanated women. I'm going to show it to you. I'm not going to show you some little pictures or whatever. I like to read legal documentation, historical documentation. We're going to show it to you. This is the land of the women, the mothers. And if you don't honor the mothers of this land, you can't claim title to it. We're going to show it. So the difference, you understanding the difference. If you're calling yourself Moor, or even if you're calling yourself white. See, I've gone through, y'all go find our sessions on YouTube at UNA Republic. And I go through the SF 181 form and help you to understand what the term white means. White doesn't deal with light skin in no way. When you go and read the term white, everybody on there is dealing with three different groups of people. Everybody on there dealt with melanated people. White means people from another land, South Africa, not South Africa, North African countries, people of the Middle East, and your original Europeans. Who were the original Europeans? See, I had to go into that. Look, this is what Moors do. They say, Europeans came in here and then they did the dirt to the original people. Who were the original Europeans? Moroccans, Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Montezuma. Thank you, Blue, for the love. I want y'all to like and share. We're going in tonight. I want y'all to like and share. The original Europeans were melanated people. So when on the SF 181 form, it's saying the original Europeans, it's talking about melanated people. And so why they not telling you that? Why Moore is not telling you that the original Europeans? See, why? Okay, this is how you know. Why we got European and then Indo-European. Why we got these two different terms? Why we need the prefix if European means Albions? Because the original Europeans were melanated. And then these people took over the term, just like they took over the term American, which was originally meant for melanated people. Okay. I hope I made that distinction. I hope you're understanding now
Because if you calling yourself white or Moor, which a lot of these Moors running around here taking on that title, you saying you from somewhere else. So how you going to try to claim land in a land that doesn't belong to you? So then we get, well, we all the same people because we all brown. Wait, okay. Well, then let's look at this way. Let's say that, because they want to say the Israelites migrated into this land. What I'm finding in my research is those lost tribes of Israel, that they sailed and perhaps migrated to this land we know of as Americas. Okay, so let's say grandmama sailed, because grandmama had 2 daughters, and one of her daughters stayed in the Middle East, and the other daughter sailed to the Americas with grandmama. And grandmama built a mansion up over here in the Americas. We didn't conquer nobody when we came over here. We just came here and the territory was open. So, okay, that's fine. So in this land, grandmama has built up a mansion, and we built grandmama has built this stuff, and my mama been with grandmama, and we've been building over here. And then my aunt's children, they have become plentiful in this other land, and then they decide to come into the land, and they some kind of way find out, oh, we cousins. We're there. This is our mansion too. We want this room and this room and this room, and we want your room too. Well, now this is my room. Well, we want that in. We want that room. Is that equity? That you just get to bust up in the house and claim what you want because you my cousin? You ain't built nothing here. You didn't honor grandmama. You just bust in here talking about you are Moor and you want something because we cousins. That's not how this works. If you don't honor the mothers of the land, and that's what's the problem. You just coming up in here talking about we Moors, we Moroccans, we're on the Peace and Friendship Treaty, and you haven't honored not nary ancestor. You are being disrespectful, and I don't have to do nothing to you. You will never have peace until you honor the mothers. I'm going to go into this so I can show you, because somebody's like, well, where does it? You talking about some mothers? I'm going to show you. And I want to find this quickly. Let me finish. If you have any questions, I want to get to my questions on from TikTok. Okay, I'm going to show this. This is the treaty, the Peace and Friendship Treaty, and I want to go to the part where it's stating who the one who owns the land. All right, so let me flip this rig, and I want y'all to take a look. This is the Peace and Friendship Treaty. Not the Peace and Friendship Treaty, but the Iroquois Confederacy. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, this Iroquois Confederacy was the original people of the land who created this, and it was around long before the Constitution, but the Constitution is based off of the Iroquois Confederacy by the Moors who were creating the Constitution. So this is the Iroquois Confederacy, and this is article number 17 in this confederacy, and it says the rights, duties, and qualifications of lords. A bunch of a certain number of shells, wampum, strings, each 2 spans in length shall be given to each of the female families which the lordship titles are vested. I'm going to say this again so y'all can be clear on this. This is the Iroquois Confederacy. This was the constitution of land of the original people of the land. A bunch of a certain number of shells, wampum, strings, each 2 spans in length, shall be given to each of the female families in which the lordship titles are vested. The right of bestowing the title shall be hereditary in the family of the females legally possessing the bunch of shells, strings, and the strings shall be token that the females of the family have the proprietary rights to the lordship title for all time to come. That includes now, subject to certain restrictions hereafter mentioned. I'm going to read that last sentence again. The right of bestowing the title shall be hereditary in the family of the females legally possessing the bunch of shell strings, and the strings shall be the token that the females of the family have the proprietary right to the lordship title for all time to come. The land is still in land patents till this day under the women, the females. And if you don't pay tribute to the females of this land, then you don't have title. You don't have title under the title Moor. And see, after I said that and I broke this down, this character, he decided, well, you know, I'm with the tribe of the such and such tribe, and I'm with it. Why you didn't say that? Why do you keep calling out the title Moor, which gives you no title? I just showed you the original constitution, and these original people never signed any kind of treaty or any kind of agreement with anybody from any other nation. They had already claimed title to this land, not only with this Iroquois Confederacy, but with the 13 other treaties that they made with Britain, where they said, we're not giving over title to our land. This is in our names. Now, we'll pay you some money, but we're not giving you title to our land. And then here are the people saying the women have proprietary right and lordship of the title. I can't make it no, I can't, listen, I can't break it down no deeper than that. You saw it for yourself. Iroquois Confederacy, go look it up. If you want to know what the term Moor, the only time I found it, or the farthest back I found, is with the Peace of Friendship Treaty. Moor is dealing with sails and maritime and pirates and ships on the sea. It's got nothing to do with land. But you want to keep taking that title, go ahead. And then I told you what contract law is. When you look up the Declaration of Independence, the Peace and Friendship Treaty, the Constitution of the United States of America, not nary original person signed that. So if it's dealing with land, it's null and void because the original people didn't sign over contracts to these people concerning land. They didn't. And if you coming in here trying to claim land and you're not talking about the mothers of this land, then go back to Africa. How about that? I'm sorry. I was supposed to say it with love. Go back to Africa. Let me answer questions. What did it take to enforce the patents? All right. First thing you have to do is know law and how to stand. All right, because you're not going to go to a lawyer and the lawyer tell you how to do this. A lot of people are trying to go to lawyers and have the lawyer to help them in courts. You know, you see, you got to understand what courts are. They're just private organizations. When you know law, you know your power. You know that you are the court. Those are the things that we teach in UNA. How to create your own court, how to establish your own law, how to enforce it. You got to know who you are. So let me talk about, because somebody asked about remedy. I'm going to bring this brother on in a second. I'm going to answer some questions, and I'm going to bring this brother on, and we're going to have this conversation. But one of the things he talked about is the Lenape tribe, which the Lenape tribe truly are Africans that sailed into the land. Now, they didn't come over here and conquer nobody. They just came over here, they found some land, they found some territory, they landed on it, and that's where they have been. They claim to be Moors, but you know what they were intelligent enough to do? They created their own title. Yeah, the Lenape tribe, the Lenape nation, or whatever their nation is. They didn't say, oh, we Moroccan and be flying somebody else's flag. They got their own flag. They have their own nation. That's exactly what we show you how to do in the UNA University. That's what we show you how to do. You are a nation all by yourself. See, you know, again, going back to the spiritual side of this, you are made up of many different spiritual entities. You so busy trying to follow up and be led by some people, you don't even listen to your own God. You are a nation led by your God. That's who's supposed to be leading you. That's the one who's supposed to be guiding you. And you're supposed to be recognizing these universal laws out here. And as long as you recognize it and you're in honor with the universal laws, that's your protection. Knowing law, knowing how to stand, that's how you enforce it. But if you don't know law and you keep trying to jump from this religion to this religion, I'm jumping from these people over here to this, and I want to be up on it, I want to be protected. Where's your God? Where is your God? That's where your protection is. Answering questions. You never gain anything trying to step on the next person's sister, but you're funny though. Brian Triple, please tell me who I have tried to step on, because I'm gonna let you know something. The last thing I want to do is step on anybody. The only thing I'm doing here is attempting to uplift everybody who wants to know. Diva Lyri don't step on nobody. I don't step on anybody. I just tell you the facts. I've told you the facts about what happened between the United States and Morocco. It didn't come from my words. It came from the Moroccan embassy itself. It came from the Times itself, not from Diva Lyri. Thank you, Pure. When it comes to, and thank you, Keisha, I think that's James. When it comes to the Iroquois Confederacy and who really owns this land, I didn't make that up. When it comes to the laws about copyright and trademark, I didn't make it up. When it comes to understanding words and etymology and how whenever you speak something, it's a contract, I'm not making that up. When I'm talking about universal laws, I'm not making that up. When I speak about how every God that's shown up in, whether it be this dimension or another dimension, they got to come into account with those universal laws. I'm not making it up. I can show you. And I'm going to show you in this dimension. I'm going to answer these questions. I'm going to bring my brother on. But I'm going to show you in this dimension how things keep switching and how people who disrespect the universal laws, well, let me rephrase that. They put out some energies and they come back every time. And this is how I can see the past. This is how. I can go ahead and write prophecies because I can tell you what's about to happen now. I can tell you, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you. All right. But I'm not stepping on nobody, not even the Moors. I'm not stepping on you. I'm telling you. I'm showing you. And if you don't want to see, then don't be mad at me. I will shake your foundation. If you're not ready to grow up and open your eyes, this is not the channel for you. I told you we deal with mature people here, and you don't believe a word that I say. I'm not here to guide you and lead you. I'm here to give you the facts. And only being that you're supposed to be following is your God, your spirit, your most high. And you gotta go within on that. You can't be trying to follow these people out here. You can't do that. TikTok, y'all don't have any questions or comments? What if you're born here and your mother and father before you? All right, listen. All right, when it comes to land, again, the original people have to wake up. Thank you for the love, sacred. The original people have to wake up. But if you're here and you are in good energy, you're in good spirit, and first of all, if you're standing under God, then you can claim your vessel because you have all rights to claim this. All right. The only thing we're dealing with is making sure your spiritual energies are in a higher vibratory frequency. That's what we're talking about when we're saying, you know, you're over here and then you're calling yourself Moor. And I need to go into later on what the Moors did and how the dirt they did across this whole plan. I need to go into that. And see, that's why you want to take on that title. Okay, when that guy took on that title Moor, thank you, Keisha James. I think that's Keisha James. You're taking on that title Moor. Moors did a lot of dirt over there in that land. And I need you to understand what they did and why they have suffered the penalties. Okay, I'm going to go into that. Hold on. You stop at reading Peace and Friendship Treaty. If you want to read the Peace and Friendship Treaty, go look it up. All I needed to do is show that the term Moor dealt with water and ships and pirates. All right, let me finish up and then I'm going to bring my brother in. Do you know how to get to the Stargate? Yeah, because as soon as I find it, I'm going to be up out of here. Stallone says, so it makes no difference. What makes no difference? Welcome, Cab or CABT. Welcome. All right, so let me, okay. I'm going to bring you, let me see if, let me see if my, the brother's ready to come on. Let's see. Okay, let me finish up with, thank you all for liking and sharing. I really do appreciate that. KG, thank you for the love. Sacred, thank you for the love. BB Crew says, sister and disrespecting anyone I can remember since I've been visiting her page. Sister and disrespect anyone I can remember since visiting her page. I'm not sure what that meant, but okay. Thank you for the love. Let me see. Omni, I think that is. OMI. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, so he's not in the room. Good, because I want to finish this up. Okay. And let me see my people on YouTube. Let me see if I got your questions. I know I got somebody in here angry with me. They're over here arguing in the comment section. All right. Bummer for, because I don't do TikTok. Friend goes, oh yes, the language has been transformed by design. Friend goes, I still don't necessarily disagree with the ideology of the diaspora though, but save that for a private session combo though. Truth, you look like a who from who. Okay, hold on. Okay. Township in the range are terms used in the United States to describe a method of dividing land into square shapes. Okay, so now one that we had talked about in another session, in the last session. There was something he said was not true, and it's right down to my tongue. I was just ready to say it, but we were going through a lot of things, and he kept saying, well, that's not true, and that's not true. And we were talking about the English language. That's what came up. Because this person wanted to make it seem like it was the Albion. It's one of the things that the Moors do, which I say the truth about history correct. So now I'm going to go into this next session since the brother is not ready. We gotta get to understand the truth about history. Why? Again, that saying that says, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. That's very true. And because we don't know the truth about history, we keep repeating this. And I'm ready to show you how we keep repeating it. And if you want to come out of this, you got to stop being ignorant. You got to stop being on this religious cycle where you're jumping from this religion to this religion to this religion. Find your God, find source. So he says, well, these Albions, they tricked us with the English language. This English language is backwards. Then I say to him, the English language was created by melanated people. But we can look this up and we can see the Phoenicians are credited with creating the English language. Those were melanated people. They were some Muslim, some Jew, but mainly they lived on the border, and they were people who descended from those who were with the Israelite tribe. So when you talk about Muslims and Jews, those are mostly descendants of those Shemitic people coming from what we know of today as the Middle East. If I'm incorrect, somebody put it in the comment section. So when we're talking about things like the Bible, we're talking about Christianity, Judaism, Muslim, Islam. Those are all creations of melanated people. English language, creation of melanated people. When we even talk about laws and maritime, that don't come from Albion. Melanated people created that. But when you're talking to the Moors, they want to make it seem like it was all started by the Albion. Them Europeans came over here. And then when I make the point that it was melanated people, Moors, who enslaved, or first of all, degraded the status of the original people of the land, and then started putting them into slavery. That was melanated people who did that to another group of melanated people. And so we're ready to get into it now on this next segment. We need to understand what really happened between the Africans and the so-called Arabs, and what really went down, who's who. Because we want to see how history is constantly changing. So we remember in the Bible, because we're going back to biblical times. This is a documentation now. The Bible has some discrepancies. It's a powerful book, but it's not the perfect word of God. I said that many times. And I meant that because somebody has changed it. And I told you, if anything is copyrighted, that means they changed the story, because you can't copyright God's word. So if they writing God's perfect word down and then try to copyright it, they can't do that. It's not theirs. But if they change the story and they switch it up and they flip it up, well, then it's theirs and they can copyright it. And that means it ain't God's word anymore. I need to make that clear. But there are documentations that aren't copyrighted that back the things in the Bibles that you have read. And in the Bible, it says that it was the Egyptians, which were your Hamitic people, who enslaved the Israelites, which were your Shemitic people. Ham, Shem, Japheth. If you don't know Noah's sons, then go read the Bible and get some knowledge on this, because this is important, because we reading this. Look, biblical terms are in society every day, all over the place, and you don't get it. You don't understand how important and how powerful the Bible is and how it can work for you. The Bible is what has kept these people from devouring you. That Bible. That's why I respect it, because if everything was evil, I know we look at, oh, these people evil. You think these people evil? wait till these Moors get in charge, which is what's about to happen. Okay, but pay attention. The Bible says the Egyptians, Hamitic people, enslaved a Shemitic people. These people were brown skinned. These people were dark skinned. And the truth is that it was hard to distinguish between them. It was hard to distinguish between these two people. How do we know that? There were certain characters that were Israelites that went down into this place known as Egypt, and they would hide out. Well, how are you going to hide out if you look different from the people who are there? But if you look similar to them, then you can hide out. You can't hide out amongst brown people if you're not brown. So thank you for the love. Pure life, God. Thank you. So you cannot hide out in a place if you are not the same color or you don't look like those people. Okay. So the Egyptians enslaved the Israelites. According to biblical history, according to ancient texts, according to Egyptology, and everybody else says, yep, these brown people enslaved these other brown people. That is an energy. Now, what ends up happening? Who are these Arabs, these Muslim people of Morocco and these northern territories? Who are these? They're Muslims, right? These are Muslims that are coming into the territory, and now they are starting to enslave the Africans. Where they come from? I told y'all those Muslims and Jews and all of that, they are descendants of these Shemitic people known as Israelites. That's where they come from. So now you got this whole wave of Muslims that are coming in here, and now they are enslaving the Africans. I'm going to show y'all something. And the deal is that it was so difficult to tell them apart, because what they call them Berbers. You hear the term Berbers or what have you. It was very difficult to tell them apart from the Africans. Okay, I'm going to show you one of these people. Watch this now. I'm flipping the rig. This person right here is his name. He's known as Tipple-Tip. Tipple-Tip. This was one of your major traffickers of African slaves. This guy, this is a Muslim. If he sailed, he would be considered a Moor. Tipple-Tip. Hold on. There's more. Why am I bringing this up? Because there were several different Africans who participated in the slave trade, who were, Muslims. Look at that. These are some of the people who participated in the slave trade. Look at what they look like in comparison to Africans. You can't tell them apart. Only thing, the difference is what they're wearing. So these Muslims now are now enslaving the Africans of the territory where they were enslaved. Tipple-Tip and the Ibadi or Ibodi. Let me flip back because I need y'all to see this and understand something. Throughout time, we are all spiritual entities that are constantly battling. So at first, it was the Africans who had enslaved the Israelites. Well, when times change, those same spiritual entities are going to fight again. And whoever put out dirt or whatever energy you put out while you were on top, that's what you're going to receive. And so now, then you got the Muslim who comes in and does 10 times worse to these people what they did to the Israelites. Are y'all getting this? I said to you that anytime somebody puts out an energy, they're going to receive it back. And so when I see somebody receiving an energy, especially if it's negative, I know this phrase right here. I've never seen the righteous forsaken. I've never seen the righteous forsaken. And what does that mean? If you are righteous, you shall receive righteous energy. If you are not righteous, then you shall receive the energy that you put out. And if you're receiving a negative energy, excuse me, if you're receiving a negative energy, then that's due to the fact that you put it out somewhere else. The universe does not lie. So when I see these Africans getting that energy, well, I could just go back to the Bible and see what they did to the Israelites. All right. I'm going to go a little bit further because this guy also, in the last session, this character, I spoke about this. Okay, so he's in the room now. All right. So now, in the session last week, I talked about how it was people that came in here and enslaved the original people. And I talked about he's saying Moors didn't do that. That's what he says. More, we're in a slave. No, but he was bragging about the book called White Cargo, whereby the Moors were kidnapping these Albion slaves and bringing them into the Americas and sending them to other places. They enslaved these Albion slaves. I say this again. The Moors kidnapped these Albion slaves and sold them. They ended up in the Americas. They ended up in other territories. They sold them into slavery. In doing so, they created an energy. So when you look in this territory today and you see how melanated people are incarcerated, mainly males, and you want to be upset. Now, listen, I'm not saying they should. This is what I'm telling you. The universe will return in energy. And again, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. So when he's bragging about how, oh, we kidnapped the Albions. Yeah, we sold them Albions. Okay, that's an energy. Then he talks about, somebody said they felt like he was a traitor, or what they call him, an agent. I ain't no agent. I went to prison. I was in prison. Why is he bragging about that? But that sounds about right. That's why when he says he's a Moor, I'm like, yeah, that's in line. That's in order. I understand why you would be in prison, because you had to pay for what you did as your ancestors. See, we want to act like, oh, our ancestors put a curse on us, but we did that dirt. We did. Spiritually, we are old spirits coming back in new vessels. And even if you don't get that energy that you put out at the time of that last lifetime, you're going to get it this lifetime. That's why you're in prison. And the same people who are beating y'all down and calling you the N-word, this, and this, those are the same Albion spirits that you enslaved from Sicily and Tunis and Sicily and what's the other place? Ireland. All those European countries where you kidnapped those people and you enslaved them. Those are the same people who beating on your head today, calling you N-word and all these other kind of things. That prison industrial complex, that's created for a reason. That's not just happenstance. Oh, I know you ain't, but we're supposed to love our brother, Diva, because they innocent. I've never seen the righteous forsaken. Never. There are no victims. And so I'm letting you know, we are spiritual energies and entities up in here, and energy is constantly turning and changing. So watch your energies. If you want to get out of this cycle, make sure your energies are always pure with respect, because the same person you diss now, that's going to be the same one on top. And they get to treat you the same way. You better hope they have mercy when you didn't. You better hope they have mercy when you didn't. Okay. I need to go into this because I say to you, times are changing. Thank you for the love, Rare Angel. In the mid 1800s, and when I say, and I'm going to tell the brother I'm on the way. Give me a second. I got to get this, and I'm going to bring this brother on. In the mid 1800s, there was a spiritual change, a spiritual shift. In this time, this is when a whole bunch of things were happening. The period of Reconstruction. This was the Civil Wars. This was the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, the Emancipation Proclamation. That time between 1775, thank you, Jerron, or between 1770s and 1785, excuse me, mid 1800s, 1870 and 1885. That's the pivotal time. That's what that spiritual shift. Let me see if I can find this real quick, because I came across something. And in that spiritual shift, let me see if I can find it. In that spiritual shift, I need you to know the same thing happened then that's happening today. Oh, I got to go into the Declaration of Independence too. I want to clear this up. All right, let me see if I can find this real quick, because this in this document it talks about, and again, I want to show you proof. I don't want it to just be something that I'm telling you and not giving you any proof. Let me see if I can find this in here about what was going on in the mid 1800s. All right, this is it. I'm going to flip the rig. I need y'all to see something. As I said, there was a spiritual shift in all of the things that we're seeing happen. There was a changing of power. There was a changing of the guard. So this was the time when melanated people, the Moroccans, the Moors, the Islams, they had started to lose they had really lost their power by that time. All right, because there was a changing of the guard. People had gotten tired of the way that these Muslims were treating people or ruling. All right, and so in the mid 1800s, like I said, 1870 to 1885, that was the time frame when they had just lost everything. This wasn't just in the Americas. I told you, melanated people were running the United States of America into the mid 1800s. Remember the Continental Congress? It was melanated people. It was Moors running the United States of America at that time. They lost power in Argentina around that time, the mid 1800s. They lost power in the Congo around that time, because there was that guy Tipple Tip. He was in Congo trying to do business with one of the Spaniards. He had lost power. They had those melanated people, they had started to lose power in that mid 1800s. And they reported the same kind of phenomenon that we were having here with coronas and the skies of pink and purple and all these phenomena. There was a spiritual shift then, and it's happening right now. And then I'm going to show you what happened. I'm going to read this, and then I want y'all to pay attention to what happened in that time. All right. So this is a document coming from the Morocco United Kingdom relations. This is the history. But I want to fast forward down here to this. It says, I'm going to start here at this line. The Anglo-Moroccan Accords, also known as the Anglo-Moroccan Treaty. This is where the Moroccans went into treaty with Britain. Again, or the Muslims went into treaty with Britain again. But the Anglo-Moroccan Accord, also known as the Anglo-Moroccan Treaties of Friendship, were signed on the 9th of December, 1856. This helped to prolong Morocco's independence, because by this time, Morocco had been taken over by the French, but reduced its ability to maintain royal trade monopolies with the country, and reduced its ability to charge tariffs on foreign commerce. Now, Morocco was still trying to stick with that slave trade. These Anglo-Europeans, or these Indo-Europeans, they wanted to stop the slavery. Pay attention. It was the Europeans that was trying to stop it, but these Moroccans, these Moors, they wanted to continue with it, and nobody would do business with them. They was like, look, we're not doing the slave trade no more. We're going to put tariffs on you. We're going to make it so hard for you to do business. And then Morocco finally in 1856 entered treaties, but they were still doing the slave trade. In 1858, British merchants were barred from importing a variety of cash crops from Morocco, sugar, such as sugar, tea, and coffee, to further enforce the abolition of monopolies. In 1861, Britain issued Morocco a 500,000-pound loan financed by private investors to help the Sultan pay off war indemnity of Hispano-Morocco War. The last 25 years of the 19th century had multiple exchanges between Britain and Morocco, strengthening relations. As I said, Britain and Morocco been in bed together. They was back and forth trying to do all kind of stuff to take down France, and Morocco wanted to take down France, and Morocco wanted to take down Spain, and Britain wanted to take down France. And so they've been trying to partner up, but people have been blocking them. So particularly in terms of exchanging technological advances. In 1877, the first smallpox vaccines arrived in Morocco from Gibraltar. By 1880, the connections between Britain and Morocco warranted the laying of an undersea telegraph cable linking Gibraltar to Tangier. Okay, the reason why I brought this up is I highlighted smallpox vaccine. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Anytime there's a changing of the guard, and I told you the mid-1800s was a big change. Some people call that was a reset. Well, we in another reset right now. And there's a vaccine involved. Smallpox vaccines back then. Today, it's another vaccine that we won't mention. But I hope y'all are getting this. Morocco went after this, at this time in the 1850s, they had been taken over by France. And it was Britain that was trying to get them to get their independence. And Britain loaned them a 500-pound loan. And anybody who knows, when these people give you a loan, they don't mean for you to come up out of that loan. You are now owned by them. The same way they own your house. They got a mortgage on that house. You think Britain don't own Morocco? Let me flip this screen. This was in the mid-1800s. You think Britain don't own Morocco? But that's what you want to call yourself, Moor and Morocco, and fly that flag? Morocco took a 500,000-pound loan from Britain. That's like that mortgage. They took a mortgage on the land. And then you want to call yourself and say this is Morocco. Once again, when you say that, you have put this right back up under Britain, the same people who you trying to escape from. But you opening your mouth, you original people who don't know who you are, and you calling yourself Moor, you calling yourself from Morocco, you flying that flag, you are saying that you are territory and this is their territory. And as soon as you do that, now Britain gonna come get their Moroccan territory, and they coming after you. Because you claim to be Morocco or Moroccan, Moor. I didn't make this up. I just read it to you. All right, bring the brother in. Bring the brother in. I have said everything that I think I need to say. If you don't get it from this point, then let it be on you. But if we're talking about what is your remedy, right here, trust. I told you the Lenape tribe, at least they were intelligent enough. Oh, I gotta hold on. Hold on, I gotta bring this brother in. Give me 1 second. Let me get to the link. I didn't even link up with my people. Hold on. We're gonna bring this brother in right now. If you all have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section so I can get to them before I get out of here. Here we go. All right, I got to link up with them. Thank you for the love. Oh shit. Oh shoot. Okay. I got to figure out how we're going to do this. Okay, he left. Let me answer questions. Let me answer questions because he left. All right, you got to be patient with me because I'm going to do what I need to do to get this information out. Does anybody have any questions? Did I leave anything out? I mean, I think I have broken it down to you to help you understand this game. If you're going to do anything, create your own title. Stand under your God. Stop trying to stand under other that's not really offering you any protection. You got to know who you are and understand what this dimension is. These people have y'all running scared because you don't know universal law. You don't know who you are. And again, I say to you, we are spiritual entities in here. We're constantly fighting. And I've just showed you how when you put out an energy, it's going to come back. I've also shown you that the frequency of this being that called himself Moor, his whole thing when he comes in here, we're going to destroy you. We're not going to let you do something. I'm ordained by God. I am here because God sent me to give this information. Me and all the other people out here who are putting this information and trying to help you to see what the facts are. So when you try to come against me, as I said, facts are, it's me as I, they got my back. All the ancestors who got my back. Your arm's too short to fight with God. I don't even have to raise a finger. If you asking me, who is that? Robin, if you're sovereign yet, you can't be sovereign if you got to ask that question. A sovereign is never going to ask, are we sovereign yet? No, you're not. If you want to be sovereign, you got to have knowledge of self. Sovereign means a master of self, a God. Is that you? It can't be if you're asking me that question. Is a corporation dead? Absolutely. That's why it's got that term corpse or corp as in dead. User says it makes sense now. Thank you. Thank you for the love, Jeter. Get her done. Thank you for the love. Thank you, Willow. Does anybody who doesn't understand this, what I've gone through, what I've said, who doesn't understand it, who doesn't get it? Become the executor of your estate. Thank you, Big. How do you do that? I want to say this because I need y'all to understand something. There are a people who are for you that are working in this governmental system. What has happened is that all of the so-called governmental agencies have been clumped into one group. And I need y'all to understand they fighting at that level. You got federal over here and you got state over here. State is not even government. But federal is over here fighting for you. And the reason why it's important for you to know who you are and what's going on is because at some point there are going to be people who come into this land who probably already here under some kind of orders, and they're going to be trying to help the people. But the people are fighting for Britain. You think you fighting for the flag and for the United States of America, but you're fighting for a foreign entity, Britain. That's who you're fighting for. People who you are fighting for, the people who conquered you. Because you're so proud of that flag, and I'm proud to be an American. Okay. Then when they come in here and they're trying to help people and to rid the territory of the enemies of the state or the country, the true enemies are the people who keep trying to fight for Britain, which they think, oh, I'm fighting for the state of, and the state of, and then you fighting for a British territory. You don't understand the game. They're here to help you get rid of the people who have conquered you, and you're going to be fighting them. You got to know the game. And yeah, you can do your ancestry. That's great. But you still need to know the game. Okay, let me get back to this, because there are people who are fighting, who are there for you. And I told y'all, wherever you see, okay, you might see evil. Oh, I see evil, evil. Everything has duality. Everything. And you got to understand that these people who are running this system, they fear something. You need to find out what it is they fear. And one of the things I found out that they fear is the Bible. They fear that there is a God. They're serious about that. I'm not concerned about your religion. I'm trying to let you know where your powers are. What God are you standing under? And then if you're talking about claiming land or territory, you need to honor and respect the people of the land. If you're not doing that, then you're being disrespectful, and you're never going to have peace. All right, let me answer questions. I'm going to get up out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please like and share. And I'm going to take these questions, and then I'm going to get ready to get up out of here. All right, let me see if I got any questions or comments. Can you explain the Zodiac Constitution? Thank you, Fibonacci. I do not have knowledge of the Zodiac Constitution, but I will definitely look it up. Thank you for answering my questions. Or Action says, Diva, I'm enjoying your broadcast. Actions, thank you so much for the love. The township and the system was a way of dividing. Genesis says, so if people were on a township in 1870, they originally owned the land. Yeah, and I told you all that the counties were established by the Moors, and those counties, they were named after the people of the land. That's what the charter was for. The charter, it had to deal with the people of that territory. That's why you see a lot of these counties, the names of the original people is in the counties, the Cherokee County and the Creek County and the Chickasaw and all that's because of the people of the land. All right. But if you're talking about your remedy, it's right here. Your trust. We offer you a trust and a membership with UNA, and this is you being your own nation. United Nations is a nation of nations. Again, you're a nation all by yourself. And one of the things that I can say about the Lenape tribe, and they are Africans, they from Africa, but they settled in the land, and they did it in a manner where they didn't conquer somebody else. One of the things that they did was that they created their own name, their own flag. their own territory. Even though they might call themselves Moors, they make it clear that they're their own nation. They're not under somebody else. They have their own God. That's what you're supposed to be doing. All right. Let me see if I have any more questions, because I'm going to get out of here. I want y'all to know I really do appreciate you. To the Moors that I have offended, I need you to understand we got to know what the truth are, what the facts are. That's what I'm here for, to present the facts. This is not to disrespect or diss your religion. And that includes Christian too, and anybody else. This is not to diss your religion. I'm telling you what the law is. I just stated the truth about history that you can go and look up for yourself. And so if you're not willing to open your eyes and see and understand that there is a changing of the guard right now, melanated people, you ready to get back on top. To my Albions, yeah, y'all ready to catch it. You ready to catch it. And I needed to be made clear to melanated people. It's not really the Albions who did it. There's another group of light-skinned people. I want y'all to like and share. We got to get this thing up to 30,000 today. We're supposed to be at 30,000, so please like and share. We are close. We are close, close, close. All right. So the deal is, again, you've got to be cognizant of the truth about history and what really happened. Levita says, you made me research more, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Levita. I appreciate you. And I'm going to say this because Levita brought up a beautiful point and a thing that the reason why I ask you all to research. There are going to be people who come against Diva Lyri, and they're going to try to defame my character. And they're going to say, oh, Diva, this and this and this. I do not need you to defend me. All right. I need you to go and look this information up, because when it all comes down to it, I need you to be able to say, well, Diva Lyri might be whatever you said, but everything she said is on point. I know, because I looked it up for myself. I saw it for myself. Then they can't shake you. If it's just a belief and you just believing in Diva Lyri, they're going to shake your foundation. But if it's something that you research for yourself, they can't shake you. I'm not here for you to follow me. My goal is to give you the facts so that you can be intelligent enough to stand on your own, regardless of who says what, because Diva Lyri might not even be in the room and they feeding you some garbage. But if you have knowledge for yourself, they can't shake you. They can say what they want to say about me, but you're too intelligent to allow them to mislead you again. You will not be misled again because you have knowledge. So thank you, Levita. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Can you explain? Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Thank you, Kenter. Thank you, User. User says, I agree with you. Thank you. So here's the deal. Our Moor friend, he was not able to make it. Perhaps we can get him back on another time. He's having issues getting on. He says he's trying to come back, but I'm going to get out of here. I think I've drilled this into you enough. I hope you've gotten this information. This session is going to be up on YouTube. So find us at YouTube at UNA Republic, and YouTube. We also stream on TikTok at UNA Republic. Moors, I love you. I love you. My goal is to make sure that you at least have the facts. If you want to continue to follow whatever you follow, respect. But I'm going to speak the facts. And please don't think that you're going to come against me. All right. I stand under a higher power. And anybody who's putting out an energy, please note that it'll come back on you way before it ever reaches me. All right. I love y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Where's my theme music? Where is my theme Music. Oh, wait a minute. I turned it down. That's what happened. Turn it back up. Give me my music. Thank you.
Music, USA.
Give me a hug. I love you. Bye.